Well, good evening, everybody. It's Chris here from the Whistle Stop Cafe in Mirror Alberta again. So I said I'd try and come back on tonight with Mr. Kerry Lambert, and here's Kerry. Kerry? 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 He's not here. He's here, but he's not here. So I just figured I would answer a couple questions quick. I was just going through my messages and some of the comments on my most recent post, my most recent live, and there's a lot of comments. Some people are really upset with me, and I really don't care. I know it sounds kind of cold, right? But the reality is, I'm not a philosopher. I'm not a politician. I'm not a pundit. I'm not a professor. I'm none of those things. I'm just a guy with opinions who bases those opinions on what I see going on around me. That's it. I don't get paid to say anything. I don't get paid to not say anything. So what you hear me say is my feelings, my opinions, and my views on what's going on in the world today. And if you don't like it, tough titties. I really don't care. I'm not here to try and make people like me. I'm not here to try and build a big following and some sort of a cult presence. I don't want any of that. I share my opinions, and if you don't like them, that's whatever. That's your problem. So recently, a few hours ago, I spoke out against something that's supposed to happen in September on 9/11, an emergency, a 911 call. And people they're saying all sorts of things like, I'm just upset because it's not my idea, or, well, if this won't work, then what's the solution? And I'll answer those in order. First off, I've advocated for a lot of things that weren't my idea. So the Alberta Prosperity Project and Alberta Independence, I'm hand talking too, but you can't see my hands, just in case you're wondering. That wasn't my idea. I heard the idea, I listened to them, and I agree with what they're saying, so I promote it. The Freedom Convoy 2022 to Ottawa wasn't my idea. As a matter of fact, in the early stages, I thought it would be a flop, and I thought it was just something that people were using to try and become famous. And shortly before it started, I realized that, hey, you know what? This is actually a good idea, and so I got on board with it. It wasn't my idea. I still supported it. So, no, I'm not speaking out against this 911 thing, because it's not my idea. It doesn't matter whose idea it is. If it's a good idea, it's a good idea, plain and simple. The second thing, what was it? Now I've lost my train of thought. Sorry, I'm just reading some comments here. The second thing regarding solutions. I've been very clear on what our solution is to the problems we're facing. If you really think about what's going on in the world and in our country, and specifically in our province of Alberta, it's all coming down from the federal government. Yes, our provincial politicians are kind of chicken shits, and they're scared to talk about things that they think are going to offend people. They're scared to go against the supposed status quo. But at the end of the day, what's going on is at the hands of our federal government. Now, many of you may not be aware of this, but the provinces in this country we call Canada, we were never forced to be subservient to the federal government. Provinces were supposed to be, for the most part, sovereign and make their own decisions and chart their own path. But since Confederation, particularly since 1905 when Alberta joined Confederation, the federal government has taken more and more and more power away from our province. And now, not only do they want to take power away from our province, but they want to implement... Hold on a second. My fire's going out. Oh, my fire's right out. Now what? Anyway, this is making me really blue. So the federal government wants to take the power away from the people, the power away from the provinces. And they're pushing this global elitist idea that people have to basically freeze and starve in the dark so that the world will continue to turn. And it's all a bunch of malarkey. So if the problem is the federal government, and the provinces were never forced to join Confederation, we joined Confederation of our own free will because we thought it would benefit the people. And the idea of unity is awesome, right? And I've said this before as well. If you're going, the idea of unity is great, but if you're not unifying around a truth, it's pointless. The federal government is feeding us lies upon lies upon lies. The global elite are feeding us lies. Why would we want to unify with that? We don't have to. This is a relationship. It's like a marriage. The Confederation is like a marriage. And right now, we're being abused by the partner in this marriage. And when that's the case, first you try and work things out. And if you can't get fair treatment and stop the abuse, then you leave the relationship. It's legal. It's peaceful. The Supreme Court has already ruled on it. So if you want to talk about a solution, a real solution, why don't we actually lead by example and stand up and show the rest of the people in Canada who love freedom and love the idea of being free that there is a way to do that peacefully. Now there are a lot of people in this country who don't agree with this. They think that this global plan is great. They love the own nothing and be happy scenario. They're excited to build back better, forgetting that in order to build back, you have to first destroy what you already have. And you know what? That's their choice. Here at the Whistle Stop Cafe, almost daily, people come in here from Ontario, Quebec, other parts of Eastern Canada, even BC. And they come and they meet me and they shake my hand and they thank me for taking a stand, and they tell me that they have moved to Alberta because they want to be free. And they know, even being from other provinces, that Alberta has the best shot at doing this right now. And when I say right now, I actually mean within the next couple of years after a provincial election next year. So if you value your freedom and where you're at, or the province you're at, or hell, even the country you're at, isn't aligned with you, go somewhere that believes in freedom. And right now, that's Alberta. The more freedom-loving people we have here, the better chance we have winning in May of 2023. So that's the solution. Leave the abusive relationship. Say no to what Mr. Harper signed us onto in 2008 and 2016. Say no to the Klaus Schwabs and the Bill Gates and the, what's that senator, that New York senator's name, that young lady, Cortez? Cortez. Her Build Back Better idea. All we have to do is say no. Alberta can do it. And when we do it, we're going to set the example for everybody else. That's the solution. It's the only legal, peaceful, and tangible solution that we have at this point. The Alberta Sovereignty Act that some of the UCP candidates are campaigning on is nothing more than provincial civil disobedience. And we've seen how civil disobedience works. You often have to pay the price and suffer the consequence for your actions. And it takes years to wade through the legal or to prove that you were justified in your civil disobedience. We don't have to do that. In Alberta, if we hold a referendum within a fairly quick time period, and we go to the federal government, I have a Starlink internet connection, and I still apparently drop my live feeds due to poor wireless connection. Weird. Anyway, as I was saying, if we have a successful referendum on independence in Alberta, and we take that to the federal government and use it as leverage to negotiate a better deal, a fair deal for this province, that could be successful. We might be able to stay within Confederation and get a better deal. And say no to the Great Reset. which is real. Yes, it's real. There is no other leverage. Politicians before have tried and failed. Even Jason Kenney tried and failed. They showed us that we have no leverage to negotiate, and we have to do something different. So if you really want to focus your energy and your time in something that's going to be a lasting solution, you should really think about this. And if you are watching this from another province and you like what's happening in Alberta, come here. It's a great place to be, and there's lots of people just like you who believe in freedom. There's lots of people just like you who will stand up for themselves and stand up for you and say no to what's coming. That's the solution. The solution is not bullying people with guns into doing what you want them to do. The solution is not it's not in blockades or we're not going to stop this until you do this. The solution's right in front of us. Take it or leave it. Anyway, I'm going to bed after I ensure this fire's out. That just got really hot. Thanks, Ken.
That's right.
And I hope you all have a great night.